Good to have you here, Nate. So with that, we go live to Tel Aviv and Israeli government spokesperson Avi Hyman. Avi, thank you very much for being with us this afternoon. You obviously are watching this extremely closely. Do we have any idea what the holdup is? We've been waiting to see the other 10 be released for the last hour or so.
Martha, thank you very much for having me on. Sadly, we've seen these games before, these psychological games by Hamas, as if it wasn't enough that on October 7th they plowed through our borders, butchering families, burning entire families alive, killing children in front of their parents, parents in front of their children. If that wasn't enough, and if it wasn't enough to take 240 hostages, now they have to play with the families, releasing children, leaving the parents, releasing parents, leaving the children. This is Hamas. We know who we're up against, and until those people are on Israeli ground, we don't know their fate.
You know, it's interesting to look back at how we got here and the priority of these hostages, because initially what we heard a lot from the Israeli government was that the first priority was to eradicate Hamas, to end the threat, which is obviously still very important to Israel, and then to release the hostages. There was a big movement, a groundswell by these families, and we have an image of Avi Hyman, who really kicked off this movement. He was sitting in front of a building with a sign, and I think we have that image, that just said, "My family is in Gaza." And really, the families pulled together so tightly to insist that they be the priority, even if it meant a pause in fighting. What can you share with us about him, about this movement, and about how you balance it with the fight?
Mother, contrary to that, I can tell you that from the very beginning of the operation, we said there were two missions of this war, two missions, and one is not above the other. One is to destroy Hamas, both militarily and on a government level, to ensure that they do not rule Gaza, to free Gaza from Hamas. And the other, side by side, is to free the hostages. Now, we'll free those hostages if we need to do that militarily, or we'll free them as we're doing now through this deal. And if the deal breaks down, then we'll have to continue with the war, and we will continue with the war and work to free the hostages. That is our mission. Israel is one. We stand shoulder to shoulder as Israelis. We're all on the same page. But Hamas needs to be something, needs to be cast back to history. We need to secure our border from those savages because they've said they will do it again and again. That's where we are.
All right. Avi, thank you very much. We will be watching closely if we get any more indication of what the holdup is and where we're going to see movement, because we know from hostages who've been released that they say when they're in those vehicles, they're still obviously terrified because they don't know where they're being taken at that point. So that's the limbo that these other 10 are in right now. So, Avi, let us know if you get any more information. We thank you for being here, and we'll speak with you soon. Thank you, Avi. Avi Hyman from the Israeli government.